show you this, guys. The stage they set up. Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the grand opening day of Boscovs, Mall at Grease Ridge. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you guys all enjoy a look at the store. We'll be right back. But for now, go inside. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Welcome to the Mall at Grease Ridge. And welcome to the grand opening day for the brand new Boscovs department store here at the mall. It was such a fantastic day to be here in 2025 and to see a department store open. As far as I know, this is the only one to open this year. You know, we've done so many clothings on this channel this year between Macy's and Penny's and, you know, so many other things, and we'll have more of those next year. But to see this open for this mall, a mall that I've been to so many times and love, is still, you know, amazing and hard to envision. As many of you know from seeing my videos, that this particular mall just lost its Macy's in March. I was there for a time. They did update videos 5 days after Macy's closed. So you think it's, you know, it's really bad for this mall, and it's still not good to see that empty. They announced that they were getting this brand new Boscov store, and I didn't believe it at first. I was like, oh my god, you know, are they really coming to Rochester? You know, they've been expanding stores in Ohio and West Virginia, and I've been there. You saw the video that I filmed of the one in West Virginia recently on this channel, and see them coming relatively close to me. This mall's about an hour and 15 minutes from my house. That in itself is just something, you know. I didn't think it would happen, and I wish they'd come to Buffalo soon enough so they can be even closer, but I will frequent the stores. I do have a couple friends that live in this area, so I come down here relatively often. And for this mall, I mean, it really is a shot, you know. To have this added on to the lineup of stores, this mall is not dying, despite what everybody says. You know, I've seen stuff online, oh, the mall's dying, and yes, losing Macy's was a hole, but with this, with JCPenney, with the dozens of other junior acres they have, you know, Apple Cinemas, and they have Marshall's, and they just got a brand new Goodwill, and a brand new Burlington, which the spot that we're currently in right now used to be a former Burlington with a J.B. Hunter. It also was originally built as a JCPenney store before JCPenney moved to the center of the mall in the mid-90s. And they also pushed out to the mall. And I know there was a lot of controversy with the restaurant that was here, Jim's Restaurant. But when this was being built, Mr. Boscovs, being a great man that he is, actually offered them to actually be inside this store as like a restaurant. Now, they didn't end up doing it. They ended up closing, and they have another location across town. But the fact that he offered that is just so cool. And that's one of the reasons why I really love Boscov stores, and why I've talked about it before on this channel, and why I've tried to get to every one of them and document them, is because this company, you know, it's family owned and it stands for something. The CEO is very proud of the company. From what I've heard, he treats his employees really nice. And for the most part, the employees, even with everything going on, were all really nice. They were smiling faces. I know it was obviously a stressful time for them, but you wouldn't know it by the way that they acted, by the way what they did. And also, something unique about Boscov stores that I think really is unique is that I was here at the official grand open, and I was also here 2 days before that, and I decided not to film my video that day. I was going to do a live stream, but then I ultimately decided, because I wanted to keep it a surprise. I wanted to, you know, they like to keep it kind of hidden. They you have to spend money, and that's another thing that I think that stands out about this company that I really like, is that they have their charity day, just like I mentioned. And the biggest thing with their charity day is that you have to spend money to be able to shop. But that money doesn't go to the CEO's pockets. It goes to all charities, to nonprofits. That's how I got in. I have a friend of mine who runs a historical society, and they wanted to raise some money for their society. And you know me, I'm all for history. So when I found out he was doing it and he had tickets, I was like, yeah, I'm coming. And that's the day I did most of my shopping. I did spend some money, obviously, but just everything this company stands for, the fact that they did a wonderful job with this store. Yes, I know it's not 2 levels, and it would have been cool to film an elevator, but I get why they only made it 1 level. it's more ADA compliant. In case stuff breaks, and then they do have some elderly shoppers and people, in wheelchairs. So I think that aspect, and also they fit everything. You've all seen through this video already that you've seen everything. You've seen clothes, you've seen beauty, fragrances, homeware goods. You see their typical candy counter. You will see it later. You also see like their typical outlet clearance spot of the store. It has everything that this store needs, and the shoe department is the biggest shoe department I've ever seen in any department store ever. And I've been to a lot of department stores, but the shoe department here is massive and has a couple unique features, and that's why I mentioned it in this talking, such as like a garbage can and a unique mirror that you can actually watch yourself putting on shoes. It really is one of a kind. And if I needed more shoes, I would have bought some shoes, but shoes is the one thing I don't need right now, so I didn't buy any. But just walk around that shoe department, you're going to see me take a still shot of the whole department. I didn't take a lot of still shots in here because it was so busy and chaotic, but I got a couple that I think really stand out, and that one being one of them. As I mentioned, it's the biggest shoe department you're ever seen in a department store, ever. At least that I've ever seen. So that really is unique. And this store, I expect it got over 1 million people for its opening weekend, and I suspect it's going to do well. Even, with what happens with the mall in 20 years. And that's one of the things that Boscovs also does that helps them stay afloat. As you know, they're in many dead malls. I'll forget to mention that piano was there. There was people playing music just when I was here. It was late at night. They were done for the day. But they, like I mentioned with Boscovs, they tend to buy their own buildings. They actually bought this spot here at this mall. Yes, the mall is owned by Wilmer, and it's a great company, and they run 2 healthy malls. But just in case the tides turn and this mall ends up dying, which I hope it never does, it's a beautiful place, they will stay here and continue to operate and do well. They're very loyal following. There's the candy counter, which is my favorite feature. I get fudge every time I'm there. Never fails. Any Boscovs I go to, I always buy fudge or candy or something. But just everything that this, with a mixture of it being family run, everything this company stands for, the unique departments, that's what makes them stand out, and that's why they continue to do well. And I imagine this store will be here for decades to come, and I'll continue to shop here until I'm 80 years old, and hopefully older than that. But in any event here, the video is going to be over shortly, so I am going to stop talking here momentarily. But I'd like to hear your thoughts all about like the Boscovs company and what you think of, of just, do you think they're going to be here for a long time? I'd like to thank everybody for watching. This truly is a one-of-a-kind video to be at a grand opening for a department store. You just don't see this very often. As far as I know, I'm one of only 2 people. I'm along with my good friend Joe, who actually filmed footage here. But there were people with cameras, We were not the only ones, and the employees actually loved it. I had multiple employees smiling at it. A couple of them that actually mentioned to be in the video. I will not name he or she's name in case corporate doesn't allow it, and I didn't let them be in my video because I didn't want them to get in trouble. But just the employees all loved it. The mall security didn't like it, but I don't care. I got all the footage that I needed, so it is what it is. I'd like to mention, too, that yes, it isn't the old school Boscovs with the neon so much and the chandeliers, but they still made this store look relatively nice, speaking for modern standards. You go into a Macy's or JCPenney now, and they all look the same. They all look bland. This one, they at least tried with a different color flooring. Like the carpet in the children's area. They do have some kind of fake neon that still looks decent. I mean, it obviously isn't real neon, and you know that. Also, I like the fact that they, put the department sections on, the poles like that, and they have mirrors in every single section. And, of course, this really nice price scanner that I showed here. By the way, this is the shoe department level. Look how massive it is. But they at least put some aesthetic touches, even though it's a modern store, that I really do like. That's another reason why I enjoy going to these stores. Yes, there's a couple ones that I'm not a fan of. They remodeled, but this store does look nice. I enjoyed every minute being here, and I will continue to enjoy coming here. And in a couple of years, I'll probably shoot another update video at some point. But I felt that it was important to be here for grand opening to show a store and just how busy it is. And look at all the people you see. I mean, it was hard to avoid getting people in shots. By the way, that's the fake neon I was mentioning, but it still looks pretty nice. And I got a still shot of that towards the end here. But the true class of this store and everything it stands for, and a mixture of just a nice store and the cheap products and whatever, make it a very appealing shopping destination. And I hope everybody who can make it down to this, first of all, the mall is one of my favorite aesthetic malls you'll ever see. But overall, I hope that they can make it to the store and support it and buy something. This, you will not be disappointed. I have a lot of friends in retail, and I don't know any of them that have been disappointed with a visit to a Boscov store. So I encourage everybody who's in the area or who visits Rochester for something to just take a peek in here and just walk around. And you never know, you might find something that you're all enjoying. I hope, and maybe you'll get to meet me, because as I mentioned, I do come up here relatively, recently. By the way, that is the bargain outlet, the biggest bargain outlet I've ever seen at a Boscov store. I show it in my videos, and it's usually tiny, but that one's massive, and the unique flooring too. I like I mentioned. So. But in any event, here, the video is almost over. I'm gonna sign off here. I'm sorry I talked in the video, but I really wanted to talk about some things, about the company, about the store, and overall, and I didn't think, it fit well to just put music in. I thought it was more important to document and talk about certain things. But I hope you all enjoyed a look at this store here at the mall at Grease Ridge, the grand opening of Boscovs. And like I mentioned, if you're in the area, I strongly do recommend that you stop by. You'll not be disappointed. I can promise you that. And I don't promise many things, but those of you who know me, but you will not be disappointed here. But in any event, here I will see you guys outside for the outro of the video. I hope you all enjoyed the look of the inside of the store. Here's my final still shot. But anyway, I will talk to you all later. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching the Boscovs here at the mall at Grease Ridge for opening. The official opening days today. They had a soft opening on Thursday. But there's a look at the store. Beautiful store. By the way, guys, there's the former Macy's home. But hope you guys enjoyed. If you all did, make sure to hit like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.